Hi YouTube, Paul Bisseker Bushcraft here. I've just walked up a massive hill and I'm puffed. Trying to find a clearing. I haven't been up here for 20 years. It's another woodland I used to visit years ago. I've been here once. I knew where it was. It's a clearing with a nice table area, but it's right in the middle of the woods. And I wondered at the time, why would they put this here? But there used to be an airbase behind me, a little way away, and this is probably their recreational area in the wood. But they're gone now. They moved out years ago. So I found it. It's in front of me now. I'll turn you around so you can see what I can see. Everything's pretty damp. These are modern, these benches. They were all wood when I last come here. Let's have a look where we are. Right, what the plan is today is to find some dead wood, well it's very wet, but try and find some dryish wood and do some feather sticking and preparing some tinder. I'm going to try and do a fair review of these two knives so I can use them in practice instead of just showing them. I like to get some work done with them and see what they're like, and how they perform and how they feel. I'm going to start with the 55-1. Do some fine shaving. Basically this is just scraping the bark. The fact that you can get your thumb up on this really helps you control the pressure, the angles, everything. If I angle this down, I'll probably get less flying off. You really cinch up into the knife with slicing. Get a stove going with this with just a fire steel, so it needs to be quite fine. Even the glove here. I'm going to find some bark to light this on so I can transfer it into the stove. Well, that's that knife. Let's try the other one now. It's the ER-550. It's got a lot bigger blade. I'd say these aren't as sharp as a Halterfors. The Halterfors are razor. They would do this in seconds. But this is doing it pretty well. You get some fine shavings. It's not about... you need a bit more force with this. I'm afraid I'm going to fire my shavings everywhere, which they are. It's all about, can you get it to take a spark? Obviously your wood's got to be correct, but are they going to be fine enough shavings? I feel like you've got more control with a shorter blade. Collect this amount. Should take a spark, we hope. I'm going to persevere a bit more. It's always better to have too much than too little. Problem with this big knife is trying to get controlled pressure at the end of the blade, because all your control is here really. Right, I'm going to go back to the smaller knife because of the amount of control I've got. See what that's like. We're hitting knots. I'm not sure if the blade's dulling or it's just getting to a harder piece of the wood. Let's go back to a fresh outside bit. Nah, it's cutting it nice here. Look at that, sliced my leather glove open. Technique makes a big difference. The slicing action is a lot better. It cuts smoother and easier. I'm going to go back to the other knife and do a big slicing action. The 550. Right into the heart of the stick one. So it looks like the 551 is a lot better for feather sticking, only because you have the control. You're right cinched up on this short blade. That's why. So just bring a saw out when you come out. We're going to do any firewood. Even if I haven't got the big one, I've got a pocket one. Right, we're going to batten now. I'm going to use the 550 because it's got a longer blade, so it'll be easier to batten with. This is about a 2-inch diameter, this piece of wood. That battens really well. Well, it's a full tang knife, so that gives it a lot more stability. This is the 1-inch. Well, I'm going to try battening with the smaller 551 because if it's the only knife you've got with you, you need to know, don't you? So let's put this one down and get the 551 out. No problem on the smaller ones. Slices through it. Spines on these are quite thick, so it does batten really well. There's a knot in the end of that one. I'm going to back. Yeah, it does a good job. I'm impressed with that, both of them for battening. The thick spine helps a lot.